very warm evening to all Nigerians out there, all Kryptonians, those that are in the game, those that are on the sidelines, those that have a feeling of cryptocurrency, and those that are still thinking of getting into it. My name is Julius Jesse Bidonti, and I'm here to bring you crypto before dinner. I hope we are going to have a very nice time today after all the hula baloo about the CBN thing, the Elon Musk purchase, and the rest of them. Now, I had a video out last time when the CBN came out with the circular, and a lot of videos followed. A lot of people had videos to talk about it, a lot of responses from across the globe. It was like a shot that was fired, and it just triggered a lot of responses. And the CBN thought it fine in its wisdom to respond to this with a press release. And this video is going to talk about salient points that were raised in that press release, some of them which I believe were right, some of them I believe were just hasty decisions. I mean, hasty talks about what has happened, just maybe to save face or the rest of it. It is in no way a means to disparage the CBN. I mean, if the CBN was not here, the financial sector would not be existing. But it's just, I mean, my thoughts on what is happening, and for us to take direction, you know. I'll first of all talk about the state of the markets. I always have this belief that the CBN is like a sign that the crypto markets are going to explode, and I'll tell you why. In January 2017, there was a similar circular that came out from the CBN warning financial institutions now not to deal with in cryptocurrencies. And the financial institutions kept off. Oh, moreover, they don't have the technology to be able to participate in that industry directly. That's the truth. And that same year, 2017, the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies skyrocketed, with Bitcoin closing very close to $20,000 as of December, before it crashed back to some other levels. We're in 2021, February, just at the beginning of another bull market, and CBN has come out with another similar circular. For me, it's a good omen. It means the markets are going to respond the way they responded the last time. There's this saying by Mark Twain. He says, history does not repeat itself, but it always rhymes. And history is about rhyming, because immediately, I mean, a few days after the CBN circular, what happened? The markets exploded, and then the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, decided to take a position in BTC, Bitcoin. And today, the price of Bitcoin has moved from there about $30-something thousand to $46,000. These are signs of things to come. I'm going to be talking a lot about what has happened and the direction the market is taking. But truth be told, I've never had this number of people calling me, asking on how they could get into the game before today. I mean, before this week. I mean, it's phone call after phone call. How do I get into this? So basically, for me, I think what is happening now, the news and everything, is that not only in Nigeria, but it's like it's pushing cryptocurrencies to the point of price recovery. Price recovery is the point where almost everybody's hearing about it and he wants to participate in it. But the circular has activated a bull market, and that bull market is what we're here to talk about today. Stay tuned, and I'll get back to you right away. Now, let us look at some key points from the press release of Sunday. First of all, it started with a statement, or it's a hit below the belt, about Ethereum having a flash crash, having a crash from $300 to about 10 cents in a day, or in June. That happened, yes. But the statement did not say it happened as an isolated case in a particular exchange, which was GDAX exchange. It was not the entire Ethereum network that had that crash. GDAX was overwhelmed. The trading engine was overwhelmed by the orders that were coming in. For a market that's just growing, that's just maturing, it was not, and it's not something that would not happen. And because of that, the orders could not be filled, and then one of the orders got triggered, and then there was a flash crash. Within 1 second, the price went down to those levels, which was a mistake, I mean a malfunction of the trading engine, and GDAX adequately compensated the traders that had positions opened. Now, the circular went on to talk about countries that had legislation banning stopping their financial institutions from trading in cryptocurrency. Now, I'd like to say this: there's no country in the world that will accept cryptocurrency as legal tender, not yet, because it will take away some of the strongest advantages that the sovereign nations have, and none. But a lot of countries recognize the innovation that comes with this space. Now let's even forget that and talk about some of the countries that were mentioned in this very press release. The first country there is China. Now China is a country that is known for draconian money laws. You understand? They have some of the worst capital controls in the world. Even without Bitcoin, even with the US dollar. To move out $10,000 out of China, it's a big deal, and that's why Bitcoin thrives in China. Are we trying to compare ourselves to China? We're an open democracy. But let's even talk about China. Today, the Bitcoin hash rate, that is the computing power that does all the Bitcoin calculations in Bitcoin for transactions through which Bitcoins are released into the system. 65 to 81% of the Bitcoin hash rate is in China. Chinese companies are the biggest miners of Bitcoin. So China is essentially the biggest exporter of Bitcoin. You have the largest mining pools are in China. Mining pools like F2 pool, which controls 19% of the Bitcoin hash rate. You have Poolin at 13% of the Bitcoin hash rate. You have Ant pool at about 11%. You have companies like Huobi at about 11%. So China controls the Bitcoin hash rate. Let's look at mining equipment. The four largest mining equipment manufacturers in the world are Chinese. Bitmain is the biggest. It's based out of China. Canaan is the second largest thereabout. It's based out of China. eBank is based out of China. So what are we saying? MicroBT is based out of China. Last year alone, in the past 3 years, Bitmain makes profits in the range of $3 billion and it pays tax to the Chinese government. If the Chinese government wants to ban Bitcoin, if it doesn't want to have anything to do with Bitcoin, the first thing the Chinese government will do would be to ban mining. But they've never done anything on mining. So why aren't we thinking? Today, one of the fights is how do we reallocate? How does North America get part of these Bitcoin hash rates? And North American companies are trying to buy, despite the fact that power is very expensive there. Now, move away from China. The press release also mentioned Canada. I think they must have looked at Canada from 2014, not now. And as of 2014, Canada had legislation in place for how you can register cryptocurrency exchanges and how cryptocurrencies, they are not legal tender, but they are recognized as digital assets. Today, Canada has the second largest, highest number of cryptocurrency ATMs, Bitcoin ATMs in the world. You can go to Bitcoin ATM rather and check. Second to the United States with about 12,199 thereabout. So why bring Canada into the fray? Why bring Canada into the picture? Talk about Iran. Iran was one of the countries that was also talked about in that press release. And I stand bold to say it was Iran of 2018, because as of 2020, mid-2020, about May 2020, Iran had enacted a law that all registered Bitcoin mining companies will have to sell the Bitcoins they mine to the Iranian government. It is not legal tender, but the Iranian government recognizes the fact that this tool can be used as a means of transferring value in international trade.